Only one sale away from the Shopify 1000 Club.
Is that a thing?
Wow, Mom, have a cookie.
I'll take one.
Dad.
These are delicious. You need to sell them.
You should.
Mom.
No, seriously. Let's set you up on Shopify. It's easy.
I always knew you would build your own business.
Guys.
Yum.
When you're ready to bring your idea to life, build it on Shopify.
Sign up for a free 14-day trial at shopify.com/offer22. Shopify.com/offer22.
Empire.
Welcome to the latest edition of All's Caps with former Capitals defenseman Karl Osner and current Capitals winger TJ Oshie. AP hockey writer Steve Wino, live from Denver at the Stanley Cup Final. TJ, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to talk hockey at some point, but Karl has golf questions for you first, I think.
Well, yeah, obviously it's summertime, so it's what we eat and sleep golf. We're always thinking about it at this point. I know Oshie's is maybe even a little bit more extreme than some of us, because you're actually good at golf and I just try and whack it around out there. But I wanted to bring up a tournament that I think you have a blast at, and I know other guys have tried to get into it and haven't quite been able to make the cut, but that's the American Century Classic. That's what it's called, right?
American Century Championship. Yeah, it's it's right after the 4th of July out in South Lake Tahoe, and American Century and NBC Sports put the whole tournament on, and they raise a lot of money for charity, and it's just an awesome event. I mean, I don't really fit in with like the celebrity list that they have there, but
who else is going?
I found a way to sneak back into the invite RSVP every year, so it's been fantastic.
Who else is going?
Who doesn't go? Yeah. It's the who's who of celebs. That's why Oshie is there. He doesn't give himself enough credit, but he fits in fine.
No, it's like they're like real celebrities, and I always end up making a clip by just being an idiot, having like a beer helmet on or putting from 7 feet, or I've never been on there for a good shot. It's always just been like just being an idiot.
What about a 370-yard drive or whatever you had last year?
Oh yeah, so that, I mean, technically didn't even count because you only get 2 tries, and it was my 3rd try. But it was based on the machine. It was a 369-yard carry. Kind of like you're at elevation, and it's kind of downhill. I don't know if that takes that into account or not, but yeah, it was a monster drive. My back was a little sore after that one.
That's unbelievable. Well, I mean, the tournament is sweet. So like, why not? Just so you know, like there's like Justin Timberlake is there. You know, all the big football guys are there.
Holmes, Kelsey, Rogers, Romo. The only other hockey players the last couple of years has been Pavelski and Madonna.
Pavelski's really good, right?
Pavelski, he's like actually good.
Yeah.
Like he's like an actual like good golfer, has a chance to like win the tournament. If I could crack the top 20, it's like a huge success.
Well, I mean, the guy plays he plays a lot of golf. He's been playing in a city where you can kind of play all year round. So I think that probably helps a little bit. But do you get to ever choose or request partners, or is it just random? Or they try and keep you with like because you've played with the other guys, like the hockey players and stuff, right?
Yeah, they usually keep the hockey players together in the first round, and then everyone kind of is like the first round they can kind of plan it out where it's like hockey guys are together, or like star quarterbacks are together, or actors are together, and then after that you kind of just fall wherever you fall. The big dogs get a kind of have a say. Steph Curry and Justin Timberlake and guys like that, like Aaron Rodgers, they kind of get a say in like who they play with.
Yeah,
I would think. And the rest of us just kind of fall where you fall. But you can put in some requests. Miles Teller, who I've met over the last couple of years, obviously he's in the new Top Gun Maverick movie. He's an absolute stud. We actually ran into each other just like in the pool at the Edgewood Resort, and ended up hitting it off, and have played together a couple times since then. So we've been texting back and forth about maybe jumping in a threesome on one of the days. But it's an awesome tournament, man. They do such a good job, and they raise so much money, and you feel like you're on the PGA Tour for a little bit, and my nerves, I crumble every year. I crumble. I'm never nervous except for at this tournament.
Yeah, it's one of the most nerve-wracking places in the world is the first tee box of pretty much any golf course for most people, unless you know your solids. I couldn't imagine it, man. It's sweet because I remember Justin Williams, he was trying to get in there too, and he's a really good golfer, but he didn't even make the cut. And like, for us people in Washington and in the NHL, like he's a household name. So for him to not even have a chance there, it just goes to show you the how exclusive it is. But I know you wanted to ask because Oshie mentioned their elevation, and I've said it to everybody. Like you're in Denver right now, so you probably know it when you. I'm feeling
it. Like I'm walking back and forth to the rink, and I can't imagine like what it takes to get acclimated to play hockey here.
Yeah, do you notice that, Osh, when you're there? Like I was dying. The first game I ever played in Denver, we went down 5-on-3. We lost 2 defensemen, 1 to an injury, 1 to a fight. And so we were down D and killing penalties. Brooks Lake was on the PK at one point as a D man. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I could never play here full time. Like it would suck to have to go away and come back. And I don't know, maybe it hit me harder, but does it hit you at all?
Yeah, I can't, I think the first period, it feels like you already just like did a bag skate and then have to play a game right after. Like that's what it feels like in the first period. Second period, third period, I think you start to like, it feels like fine, it's okay. But the first period, it's like, I legit can't breathe. Like I can go for 15 seconds maybe on the ice. Like for if you're someone that plays hard, like you can go 15 seconds in the first period. For sure, like first like 3 or 4 shifts.
Did you ever play a playoff series here with St. Louis?
No.
Okay, because like John Cooper was
I don't
talking
think
about
Colorado ever.
Right.
I'm not sure if they made playoffs.
Yeah, they weren't good back then. Yeah, John Cooper was just saying like you get acclimated. Like if you're here for 2 games, like they're here for a week. I'm sure by game 2 they're going to be feeling better than game 1.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're literally feeling better in the second period than you are in the first. Sure. I feel like you adjust. Yeah,
you got to force it. You actually got to breathe a little bit, and then maybe it helps the body. I wanted to bring up one thing because I think it was Isabel did an article on it years ago. We talked to Jay when he came in town, but just about the ARP a little bit because I think it's something that is so freaking cool. And I don't know how many guys are using it now, but TJ got me on it. You got Carly on it. I don't know if anybody else is using it now, but it's and Wino, do you know?
It's cool. Yeah.
It's like I mean, just explain what it looks like first of all, and then what it actually does for you, because it's amazing. And, I know you're going, everyone's healing up bumps and bruises. And I think it's amazing for healing. So I'm sure you're going to be on it a ton this summer, but please explain what the ARP is or the POV so I don't get in trouble.
The POV is one of the ARP wave is kind of, it's an electric modality basically. It's kind of a way of just making your muscles work more efficiently and connect in the messages that get sent to your brain, the messages that your brain sends back to your muscles. It just makes everything work more efficiently. And when there's when something isn't working correctly, the electricity finds it. So it's like it's different than like having like a Cairo or something like, oh yeah, I think like this is the spot. Like the electricity will tell you where the spot is, and then you're in excruciating pain until you teach that muscle through the electricity to lengthen and shorten correctly, and then the pain goes away. But it's just it's a phenomenal machine. I know like 3% of its capabilities. Our trainer that we both use and who I'm still using, Jay Schrader, is the mastermind behind the whole thing. And there's been some people that have kind of went off and try to emulate what he does, but he's the Einstein of this machine and the way it can manipulate your body.
Yeah. So like imagine a car battery, and on that car battery has wires and stim pads coming out of it that you put on your body. Anywhere
with a screen to change up the settings. Yeah, it's like the old one actually looked like a car battery. We just called it a car battery.
Yeah.
The original arc wave machine, which was super intense.
Yeah, Stick had one. I remember seeing it, thinking it was pretty funny. But so this is my funny ARP story is I broke my hand one time, and so Jay tells me to do a hand bath, and so I'm like, oh, hand bath, that sounds kind of fun. Stick electricity into water, and so I didn't so you're supposed to, like, you turn it up until first sensation is what it's called, right? So I'm turning it up ever so slowly, and then I finally feel a little tingle. And then he's like, okay, and you just sit there with your hand in the water for whatever it was, 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go stick my hand in the water, not thinking that once it hits the water, it's going to conduct like times 10. What I was supposed to do was put my hand in the water and then turn it up to first sensation. So I've got this like pretty badly broken hand, and I go and lower it into the thing of water. And as soon as it does, it just like, like your whole hand couldn't do anything. And the machine was like far enough away that I had to like knock over the water and get to it to turn it down. Cause it's one of those things that it's crazy. And the only person I've ever seen, we did it with Kuzi. I don't remember if you were there one night. We strapped it onto his quads. And we wanted to see how high we could turn it up. Were you there for that in the hotel?
Yeah, I was there for that in the hotel room, right?
Yeah, and cranked it all the way to the top. And most people, it would just cripple them. And Kuzi was like, "Is it even turned on yet?"
Yeah, he was a freak with it. He had to have used it when he was younger, or his body just works very good. But the machine can be like super painful. But like I probably wouldn't have finished the year. I would have never come back in whenever it was February if I didn't have a machine. So
check it out if you can check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Evo Ultra Fit is the website.
There you go.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I just want to talk off-season stuff, off-season preparations you guys did, and a little bit about Andre Burakovsky, who was in the Stanley Cup final with the Colorado Avalanche.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. There are some monthly expenses you just can't get away from, like insurance. You might be looking at your expenses thinking you're going to have to pause on your DIY project, stop collecting vinyl, or even give up your daily coffee fix to have great insurance. Talk about a nightmare. It's a good thing State Farm knows everyone has a budget, and they have a range of options, like insuring your ride and your home with surprisingly great rates on both. With State Farm, you can also personalize your policy, so you get the coverage you need at a price that lets you keep up with your projects, add to your vinyl collection, and continue to enjoy your coffee habits. So forget about giving up what you love to have great insurance. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
It's so nice out there in the Mexican markets where chilies stretch in the sun, high in the mountain air between backcountry skis and kids doing the first snowplow, or next to the pool after a long day of forgetting what day it is. We're all here to get out there and come home more us than us that went away. And when you save on travel as an Expedia member, you can travel even more. It's so nice out there. So let's go. Expedia. Made to travel. Terms apply. See site for details.
Welcome back to All's Caps with former Capitals defenseman Karl Alzner and current Capitals winger TJ Oshie. I'm AP hockey writer Steve Wino, live from Denver. We were just in the break talking about Andre Burakovsky stories we can't tell, but Andre Burakovsky is back in the Stanley Cup final with the Colorado Avalanche. What was it like, first, I guess you, TJ, playing with Andre? You guys won a cup together, but like, what is he like as a person, and kind of, can you tell people about Andre?
I mean, he's a really great kid. I think he's a really solid person. He's a good friend. He's a great hockey player. He's kind of that guy that I feel like brings all the jokes onto himself.
Right.
And whether I think he knows he's just doing it sometimes, but I think sometimes he's also oblivious to it. But at least when he was here, just kind of the guy that he would take some. He would get chirped quite a bit by the guys, but like it was always in good fun, and he always took it the right way. It's always fun watching him and Tom Wilson go back and forth, because they're like, it's like older brother, younger brother type thing. They really cut deep into each other. But on the ice, like super, super good player. His release and how he's able to get off this like wrist shot. No one takes wrist shots anymore, but Burakovsky does. And he's super accurate with it. I know he's a great player. I'm really excited for him to be in the finals here, and hopefully he can go get another one.
What I find fun about Berkey is, like you said, wrist shot. It takes like longer than most people to shoot one because he's loading it up. But once he lets it go, man, that thing just hums. Like it's pretty crazy. It's like, I mean, obviously it wasn't nearly the same, but it's like my dad. My dad used to take wrist shots, and I always used to think, man, that guy can shoot the puck. That's the hardest shot I've ever seen in my life. And Berkey's the same way with that wrister. It's like once it finally leaves the blade, it's crazy. But when I think of Berkey, I think of two things in particular. I think of one, that he always would compare himself to Cristiano Ronaldo, that he would get his hair cut high and tight. And then, like, I remember one time walking past him and he had a picture, just like a headshot of Ronaldo on his phone looking at it because he would call himself Ronaldo. And I think, like, it's what you mean about he just brings it on himself. And then the other thing that was also great was you would sometimes walk by the gym and you could hear like yelling going on. And then you would kind of walk in there and look, and it would be Tom and Lada wrestling Berkey. And they would have him in like a chokehold, and one guy would have the legs, and they would just be yelling, "You got to tap, you got to tap." And Berkey was like, "No, I'm not going to tap." And then finally he would tap. And Lats and Tom didn't really hold back too much. But he's just like, he's one of those guys like you kind of beat up on, but you just absolutely love. And so to see him in the finals and see him battling after blocking a shot that he probably doesn't normally block and still getting in, there's one of those guys that you just kind of cheer for. And I think you saw both our faces. You just smile when you even say the name Berkey, because he's one of those few that just makes you laugh hearing his name.
And now he's like the guy who with the Stanley Cup ring in this room. So like he's almost the veteran guy who's still kind of a kid.
Yeah, I don't know if is he leading in that dressing room? I'm not sure. I would love to think he's doing something, but they also got a couple pretty good leaders themselves, and I'm sure he just kind of does his thing. But either way, I mean, it's just fun. Like Berkey's a good guy, and that team is really good. I mean, I don't know if you're even watching anymore, Osh, but I've been getting a lot of questions about who my pick is, and I think Colorado's unbelievable, but I mean, the fact that Tampa has a chance to win 3 in a row I think would be so sweet to be able to see that happen. And the fact that they're just never out. Like the down 0-2 and you don't even seem to worry about it. They don't seem to worry about it. To me, that's pretty impressive. But what side of the fence would you be on? Like, want to see a team win 3 in a row, or ready for someone new?
Gosh, I mean, I don't really care. I hope they both lose.
I was gonna say, he probably doesn't care. But
I hope they go to 6 games and then like we go on strike or something.
TJ's the number of times you said, TJ, I don't watch hockey. The number of times I've transcribed, look guys, I don't watch hockey. So we don't ask you those things because we know that.
No, yeah,
right?
I like you told me Berkey took a shot. Like I'd have no idea. I haven't watched one game. Like I usually just find out from friends like who wins like these game 7s, and sounds like it's been a pretty exciting playoff series, like playoff.
Do you watch the NBA? Like, do you watch the
playoff season? What's
like,
that?
Do you watch the NBA finals? Like, are there other sports you like actually watch and enjoy?
I like watching golf.
Okay.
But it's usually on when the work boots are on, so you don't get to watch that much. But I mean, once like all you know is like the story. Like we got 3 kids now, so like once 5 o'clock hits, it's like dinner, it's bath time, it's bedtime. Then when bedtime's over, it's like I'm just laying there on my phone trying to fall asleep. So not a lot of hockey watching, but I'm going to go back to kind of the Berkey thing. I think he would be someone that could at least tell those guys what it's like, what the emotions are like going through like from 2018 and just kind of how like the team came together, how no one did anything really that special. Everyone just kind of did their job. And I think that's something that can go a long way for Colorado. And I mean, if the cup heads out west, I mean, I think that's, if you're an East team, you kind of want someone from over there to win it. Yeah. So the team that you see more doesn't got that swagger, when you're playing them. So I think it'd be good. Colorado's been through a lot, I feel like, over the last couple of years, a lot of high expectations, and Berkey's a good kid. So
Karl, Nicky's on your side here because my Swedish colleague Per Bjurman gets like 200 predictions from people, and Nick picked Tampa. He said they're just too tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's so rare that a team has a chance to win 3, and and maroon, it would be 4 in a row for him.
Yep.
Like, I just think it's so rare for that to happen. As you know, as much as guys would be jealous that someone wins 4 cups and 4 in a row, it's still pretty neat to see that happen. So that'd be what I would think. But because we don't want to keep you too long, Osh, I just wanted to quickly give you a sec to talk about War Road, and just because I mean, we see it all over. The guys are always rocking it because it's great stuff. But just to explain, why you started it, or why you helped start it, and why you're the face of it, and just kind of what you guys are up to and where you can buy it.
Yeah. So we're on just. We'll start in the beginning. I met a couple of my now partners, and they had this idea of a clothing brand. They wanted me to be involved. They wanted to call it War Road. I thought that was great. I thought it'd be great for the town to have a clothing line rooted in hockey and kind of for hockey players and hockey fans, because there wasn't really much out there like it. I mean, you can buy some Bauer stuff, and there's some like stuff you can get in catalogs, but not really lifestyle type clothing, and something that was kind of made by the players, kind of for the players sort of thing. But I talked to my high school buddies, and they're like, well, if it's going to be called War Road, like War Road Youth Hockey should get something in return for it, or something for the city of War Road, which the city of War Road has hockey sticks on the water tower. So like, obviously very rooted in hockey. And so I brought it back to the partners, and they agreed. And I also wanted something to go to Alzheimer's. As most people know, what me and my family's gone through with Alzheimer's, and my dad. And so we just do a portion of the proceeds goes to them. We kind of had a hard number at first, but then it's easier for us to put on events, and so it was around 10% of the proceeds to start. And I think we've actually gotten a little more than that at times. But and so we started out as just hats and t-shirts, started real slow, and now we're getting into the undergear portion of stuff. Our stuff is super, super comfortable. I probably one of the worst skin allergy / skin rash type stuff in the league. And this stuff has kind of cleared it all up for me. We got some protective gear on our elbows, cut proof on our wrists, on our Achilles tendons. You see a lot of that stuff. We're really trying to get something for the neck, as everyone kind of has seen that tragedy over the last 6 months here. And so we're working really hard on that to make something that's comfortable for players, but also something that can protect our neck from skates. And it's been going great. We've been having a great time with it. Finally got a kid line that just came out a couple days ago. So we got some more stuff for kids on there, and that's going to grow as well. So it's been an absolute blast. It's on warroad.com, and we got a big sale actually coming up, obviously, for Father's Day. So
there we go. Yeah, and I can vouch for it. Wear some of the stuff. It's unbelievable. And I just quick funny story about that. You talked about skin irritations and stuff that you've had to deal with. Well, I know me and Oshie drive to the rink quite a bit together, and I remember one time in particular, he came into the car, and I can't remember, it must have been an afternoon game. And, obviously ask you how you're doing. And I remember he saying, well, didn't fall asleep till about 3, woke up at 5 because I was itching all night. So other than that, pretty good. How about you? And I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine that. And then when you finally said that you kind of got things figured out with what you were doing, I was like, it makes you just feel, everyone knows that feeling, what it's like if you've had chicken pox or whatever. So I just thought that was so funny, because you're still smiling and laughing about it, even though you've just got 2 hours of sleep, and not only 2 hours of sleep, but you're itching, you're irritated. It's not like you just can't sleep. So I'm happy that it's working out, man. That's huge.
Work, man. Yeah, it's the worst. Like, some guys have retired from it, and like, there's been a couple times where I've gone to the game rink, I'm like, God, I don't know if I can play.
Yeah.
It feels like there's like a million bugs under my skin. And but yeah, the switching to the stuff with War Road has cleared it up, and now I can just kind of focus on hockey, which is nice.
Love it.
Carl, do you want to hit him with the stupid questions after this?
Yeah, just real quick. Okay. We'll burn through something, Osh, and everybody's got to do it. I'm sorry. So it's
I'm in.
Tradition.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then TJ Oshie will answer Karl's stupid question.
It's me, the sun-soaked tropical hotel looking for a companion who enjoys short walks to sandy beaches and exotic bird sightings. Must love a spontaneous voyage on a privately owned catamaran. My strengths include ocean and jungle views, your choice, plus the occasional ukulele serenade. My only weakness? You'll never want to leave me. Download the hotel's app to find me, your perfect somewhere.
This episode is brought to you by Cheetos Deja Tu Huella. Deja Tu Huella means leave your mark, and that's exactly what Latinos are doing all across the country. They're rewriting the rules and pushing the boundaries in their communities to leave their own unique mark. They use their gift, their superpoder, to make an impact, whether it's through art, music, fashion, food, or something else. And Cheetos will celebrate what they're doing by shining a light on their transformative power. The Deja Tu Huella program celebrates those leaving their mark in Latino communities. You can also celebrate by checking out the new podcast, Batman Unburied, on Spotify. Batman Unburied is presented by Cheetos Deja Tu Huella. Visit Batman Unburied on Spotify to learn more.
Guys, are you looking for that extra confidence when it's time to have fun? Let me tell you about BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men combat all forms of ED. Blue Chew is also an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, all done online. Blue Chew's tablets, made in the United States, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. And here's our special offer for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code CAPS, C-A-P-S, at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code CAPS, to receive your first month free.
Welcome back to All's Caps with former Capitals defenseman Karl Alzner and Capitals winger TJ Oshie. I'm AP hockey writer Steve Wino, and now TJ Oshie gets to be the latest victim of Karl's stupid questions.
Yes, I was hoping we were going to have a guest appearance right there. How's it going, Lenny?
Hey, Karl.
Hey, Karl.
I'm just about to ask your dad some really funny questions. You can help if you want to help.
All right.
It might give you guys bonus points.
Tell them the answer if you know it, okay?
Okay. First question is, what's your guys' favorite breakfast?
Cereal.
Cereal.
Ah, yes. Love it. What kind of cereal you like? Fruit Loops? No.
What do you like?
Tricks.
Tricks?
Yeah.
Did you say tricks are for kids?
Mine's Peanut Butter Crunch.
PB Crunch. Love it. Okay.
Crunch.
Next one is, what's your favorite movie or TV show right now?
Ooh, right now?
Well, actually, no. I'm going to broaden that a little bit to give you more options.
Ever, right?
Let's go ever. Yeah.
Favorite TV show or movie ever?
Yes. Or if you have one of each.
I think A Few Good Men is my favorite movie ever.
Wow.
I know like every line from like the whole movie. I could go through like Colonel Jessup, his whole testimony. I think I could say the whole thing word for word. It's actually
really?
Yeah, Lauren makes fun of me all the time. What's your favorite movie?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. That's her favorite movie. The old school series, like from the 90s.
Yeah, you've seen Goosebumps? Holy smokes.
That's why we have to lay in that room until they fall asleep.
That's good when it's happening. Okay, the ideal place to retire when it's all said and done. If you didn't, let's like not take into consideration like schools and all that good stuff. Let's just think just straight up fun in the sun or in the snow. What's ideal?
Ideal place to retire. If it was just me and just like what I want to do, it'd be at like a discovery property somewhere. Wherever that is, I don't know. They have a bunch of them around the US. That's where it'd be. I'd love to go back to Warroad and live there. Lauren is not a small town girl, so that's probably off the table. So we'll be in DC, hopefully, or back in Minnesota somewhere.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, Discovery Properties are like sick golf course communities and unbelievable. We almost went to Gaza. I think that was a mistake that we didn't get something there.
That was a mistake. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Okay. So I know you got obviously War Road and you do things with other companies, but if you could be the face of any business, any company, what would it be?
Face of any business, any company.
Captain Crunch.
I don't know. That's like so hard. That's a hard question. Like, I think it would be like, God, maybe like a food something like Chipotle or like.
Yeah. So I was wondering, like, it could be a food thing or a clothing brand or a watch or I don't even know, a tech company or anything really. It's hard. It's broad.
Actually, no, I'd change it. I'd want to be like Wheels Up or like some type of private flight.
Yeah.
Something just to get free flights.
Exactly. It actually went through my head. I was going to say, or like a Wheels Up because, anyone who's done that knows how convenient it can be, especially when you got kids and dogs and stuff at the end of the year or whatever. So Wheels Up is
my choice. That's
yeah,
my choice.
I like that. Late night snack. I know you're up late sometimes. What's your late night snack?
Cookies.
Chocolate chip.
What kind of cookie? Yeah.
Yeah, chocolate chip. Lauren makes these like phenomenal cookies. They're just like out of the bag. I don't know what company. It's like just like Toll House or whatever. But she makes them with like Crisco instead of butter.
Yeah.
And then like sprinkles like sea salt on top. I don't know. She just figured out this like perfect texture. And so it's my number one cookie all time.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it because I just like the soft. I don't like hard.
You like the soft part, the doughy cookies.
Oh yeah, I get
100%.
that. Lenny, what's your favorite snack? Did you get that?
Booty.
Pirate booty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one at our place too.
Yeah.
All right, last one for you. This is a hard hitter, but no one will take offense to your answer, I promise, because we have a great following here. But if it wasn't the Washington Capitals and you had to sign on the dotted line today for any other team in the league to play for, what team would it be?
Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, to get close to home.
You get close to home. Yeah, that would like, I mean, St. Louis, like if it was like, I'd love to go back. I love St. Louis.
Yeah.
But for like just my family, for like the kids and family, it'd be the Wild.
Yeah, that makes sense. And they got a pretty good thing going there. And Dean Evison is a beauty too.
Yeah. This is your reminder that TJ Oshie signed for 3 more years. We're good here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, we're good here. Just for
I'm staying here or I'll retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They try to trade me. Oh, sorry, I'm retired.
It's always interesting. You never know. Some guys have a place that they've just been itching to go to, and it's always neat to find out. Okay, so just gonna quickly crunch these numbers here. +4 and Lenny's answer plus Wheels Up, Pirate Booty. Jeez, that equals 277 points.
Whoa, Len!
Which,
what do you think?
I think that moves you into first place by 2 points.
We're winning.
First place by 2 points, all because of you, Lenny, because you had such great answers.
Good job. Say thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
All right. Thanks so much for playing my game. Appreciate it.
That was a great game, wasn't it? Yeah.
and thanks Lenny and TJ for joining us and on All's Caps, and thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks, boys. This was awesome.
Good stuff, man.
And we'll talk to you guys next week with former Capitals defenseman Brooks Orpik.